Hey y'all. Alright, this is going to be shaky because I don't have a tripod. But we're gonna try to do this. I've got some ginger in a raised bed that I should have pulled long ago. But life happens and I didn't get there. So here we are. Beautiful Wednesday evening, and I didn't plan to, but we are fixing to get a little bit of snow here either this evening or early morning. And I don't really want my ginger getting snowed on. And freezing. So we're gonna go pull it out of the ground. And I'm gonna try to bring y'all along. Like I said, it's gonna be a shaky video. Sorry if you get motion sick or a person who doesn't like that. You can scroll on. I apologize. I will get better with tripods and things like that, but for now, we'll work with what you got, and we're figuring it out. So, let me flip you around here. My raised bed is very sad, but it proves you can use almost anything as a raised bed. So, and this has grown some pretty good. I had some lettuce growing in here earlier this year, a lettuce mix, and some spinach growing in here as well. I should have planted more for a fall crop, but again, life happens, and I didn't. So here we are. Let's see if I can sit you. Kind of somewhere up. Maybe. That way you can kind of see. Alright. Most of my tops are pretty well done with this here. But as I pulled these leaves back, this is kind of what I'm left looking at here. This is my first year growing ginger. I just literally got some from the store and planted it. Not in the prime time, but my ginger was going bad, and so I didn't want it to go bad. And so instead of letting it go bad, I just planted it and was like, well, we'll see what happens. So I ended up kind of leaving it for a little bit longer than I should have. Again, sorry for the video quality, but here we go. Dig some of this away here. And I have some more that's buried up under here too. We'll get to that. But up until here about a week ago, this was starting to grow. Now this is what I planted from the store. That piece is actually still pretty good. This is just a shell from a piece that grew all of this. And we're gonna see if it was a success or a fail. Of course, this is gonna come out in pieces. And I'm probably doing this all wrong. It doesn't help that I'm doing it one-handed. But hey, we're getting there. That is gonna be all new growth. That is awesome. And soil is just awesome. Love it. Okay. Oh, let's dig around some more around here. There's that. Tap that off. That kind of cleans up a little bit. And ginger. Yeah, and that's all new growth that I got off of it. And that's a rock. I think that's gonna be all in this patch here. Now we'll come over here. It is freezing out here, y'all. I almost didn't do this video because of it, but then I thought, no, we're going to go ahead and do it because I really need to get this out of the ground. Should have done this a long time ago, weeks ago, but it didn't. So I'm the world's, I don't know, best or worst, not sure how, depending on how you look at it, best procrastinator, because I do it a lot, but that is definitely not a good thing, so it's an issue, but I procrastinate a lot. But I'm doing better now than I have in past years, so progress is always good. And that's the thing, a lot of people are like, I can't do it for whatever reason. Yeah, you can. You just figure out a way. There's all kinds of ways to do it. You just gotta find your way that fits your situation. And then you just gotta try and not worry about failing. Because the only way you truly fail is if you never start. Because every time I have failed, I've learned something. And when I started growing, I couldn't grow anything. I didn't have a green thumb. I sucked at it. Everything I touched died. And then I decided, I'm going to do this. And grew some beans because they were easy. And they only put on like one pod, and that was it. And I'm pretty sure that's all that's in here. Yeah. Okay. So this is an old plant of what is that? My goodness. Yep, this is me in real life. A plant of dill that I had let go to seed so I could harvest the seed off of it, and I just haven't pulled that stalk. Okay. Now let's come over here. Put you on a slit here. Separate all this out so you can kind of see what's going on. Yeah. Alright. And that's what we got. This is pretty much store-bought old growth. And then all of this, which you might say doesn't look like much, but it's actually quite a bit. All of that's new growth. And it may have been just fine. I don't know, because I don't know much about ginger. But I know the tops were dying off. I know it likes cooler weather, but not like freezing. So I wanted to get it before it froze. I could have probably mulched that bed. Got some dirt in mine. Probably could have mulched that bed and been alright. And kept it from freezing, but I didn't want to chance it, and I don't really have anything to mulch it with because I'm not quite that good yet. So now I can wash this off. Trying to decide whether I want to wash that off. Not a whole lot of dirt on it. I think what I'll do is leave it set out here for just a minute because it's cold, but it's not freezing. So I think I'll let that sit for just a second out here. Okay, a few minutes, and let that ground kind of, the soil on it kind of dry up a little bit, and then I'll just shake the rest of it off. That way I ain't got to get my hands wet and cold. And I don't have to pack all that in the house. Who wants that in the house? I gotta close this gate so the dog doesn't get in here. Anyhow, that was my ginger harvest. I planted just a little bit of ginger that I hadn't or wasn't using, and it was starting to go bad. So I decided I would try to grow it. And really, it was pretty simple. All I did was Some people tell you to start it in water and things like that. And it was warm mid-spring at that time, and really I didn't even do any of that. I just threw it in the ground. It was kind of starting to have some green nodes on it. I don't have any on here, but like some fresh growth on it already, just sitting on the counter. And so I just took that and threw it in the ground and was like, we'll see. And it grew. And it grew all the way up until here about a week or so ago. Them tops were green and good, and you can take those tops and eat them and things like that. And I probably will next year, but I just didn't get to them this year. So, yeah. The ginger harvest for the year. It is coming into winter. We're in fall right now. It's coming into winter. So obviously there's not much going on in the garden. We'll kick up more gardening content as we go along. But for right now, I'm just kind of cleaning things up. I really need to get in the garden and clean my old growth out and things like that. I still have some pepper plants that were going. Things like that. So I need to get those pulled out. Once I get something that's better set it up, I might do that for y'all, but we'll see. Anyways, have fun. Thanks.